Okay, so as you guys can see, today's objectives are on the board, and what are we going to be talking about? You are close, homeostasis. And the first thing we're going to learn to find out is, what is homeostasis? Then we're going to talk about what are the parts of a control system, and what would happen inside of us if we didn't have control systems and homeostasis. So what I want you to do right now is write down these key words on your paper, and you're going to leave space to write the definition for these words. So if you write big, leave 2 lines. If you write little, leave 1 line. So now that you've got that written down, okay, this is the big picture of what we're doing today. You're going to be able to write the definition. You're going to be able to describe how your body temperature is controlled automatically. You don't have to think about it. You're going to describe how these things, like exercise, traveling, mountain climbing, or scuba diving, might affect your homeostasis, and explain what receptors, processing centers, and effectors are, and what they do. So what I want you to do right now is talk to the person sitting right next to you, and I want you to talk about sports drinks. Think about stuff like Gatorade, Powerade, and are those really better than water? And if they're better than water, can you tell me why? So you have 1 minute to discuss. Go. Okay, so we talked about that sports drinks have electrolytes, they have sodium, they have sugar in them, and that helps keep your body in balance if you do things like running a marathon or playing an extra long soccer game. So right now what I need you to do is write down at least 3 other things in your body that have to remain stable. They have to remain within a certain range in order for you to be good. So you're going to have 1 minute to write these down, and then we're going to discuss, and you're going to see if you can make your list a little bit bigger. Okay, now you're going to talk to the person sitting right next to you, and you guys are going to work together to see if you can get your list of 3 things to become a list of 5 things. 5 things in your body that have to remain stable. You've got 2 minutes to talk to your partner and make sure you can come up with a list of at least 5 things. More than 5 is good, but at least 5. And you're going to decide which of these is the most important thing to keep in balance. Which of these things that if it wasn't in balance, you would be dead. Okay, so now that we talked about all the things in your body that are important to keep in balance, like your temperature, your blood pressure, your sugar level, your salt level, your heart rate, now we're going to take a look at some scenarios, and we're going to see what would be changing in your body in each of these scenarios, and what your body would have to be working on to keep in balance. So this is the example. This man's drinking cold water. What's going to be happening in his body that's going to be changing that he's going to have to focus on?
Cooling down.
Good, that's one. His temperature is going to change. What else is going to be that he's going to have more of it in his body?
More water.
You got it. And you will get 2 points because you have the correct answers.
Yay.
Now, think about free diving. What would be going on in your body if you were diving underwater? What would be changing?
Temperature.
Yes. Now, we don't know if the water is hotter or colder than you are, but either way, your temperature is probably going to change. The water is probably not exactly the same as your body. What else besides temperature?
I'm going to get wet and soggy.
Ah, you're going to have more water in your skin. That would be another thing you'd be changing. And what about your oxygen level? Would that be staying the same? Right, so your oxygen level would be decreasing, and what's the opposite of oxygen? What do you breathe out?
Carbon dioxide.
You got it. So you'd be having more carbon dioxide, less oxygen, and your body temperature would be changing. Now, what about this next one? You're standing on top of Mount Everest. What in your body is going to change because you're up there? Exactly. He's looking like he's wearing quite a bit of clothing up there. So your body temperature might be changing. What else?
I'm going to be shivering.
So yeah, that goes with body temperature. What about, when you climb mountains, is there the same amount of oxygen as when you're down in LA?
No.
So his oxygen levels might be changing. Now, does he look excited?
Yeah.
So he might have more adrenaline in his body because he's doing something he's always wanted to do. So different things, adrenaline is changing, temperature is changing, oxygen is changing, very good. And one more scenario. Sunbathing in Miami. So what's going to be going on in your body? What's changing?
I'm gonna get hot.
Right, so your temperature is changing. What else is changing?
I'm gonna get tan.
Ah, your melanin is changing. Remember we talked about melanin and skin color? And if you're getting hot, what are you probably losing?
I'm sweating water.
Very good. So you're getting less water and less salt.
Yeah, I'm sweating salt.
Right, very good. Okay, I'm going to skip through a few of these, and then we're going to talk about receptors, effectors, and control centers. Okay, first, you're going to write your definition of homeostasis. So that's what we've been talking about right now, is how your body keeps balance. And homeostasis is just keeping the conditions in your body the same. So when you go up Mount Everest, you get cold, your body has to work to keep you
Warm.
If you go sunbathing in Miami, you get hot, your body works to keep you
Cool.
Exactly. So homeostasis is just keeping all the conditions in your body about the same levels. So you're going to write this down on your notes, and then I want you to talk to your partner about what might happen to you if homeostasis wasn't working in your body.
You would be unbalanced.
Right? You'd be unbalanced, and so would your body function the same as normally?
No, it'd be wrong.
Exactly. So our body tries to stay at a constant temperature. We try to keep our temperature, and so we have to balance heat in and heat out. Now, I want you to think about how does your body work to lose heat, and how do you work to gain heat? You're going to talk to your partner. You're going to write down 3 different ways that you could lose heat if you were too hot, and 3 ways you could get heat if you were too cold. So you've got 2 minutes to discuss with your partner. Go. Okay, so now that you've got these written down, I want you to think about whether they were behavioral or physiological. Some things you do, it's your choice. It's how you behave. Physiological things are things that your body does. It's what your body does without you even thinking about it. So let's say you wrote down drink ice water. Is that a behavioral change or a physiological change?
Physiology.
Did you have a choice over whether you drank water?
I have a choice.
So then it would be behavioral. Now, what's something your body would do if you were too hot and you don't have a choice about it? Your body just does it.
Sweat.
Very good. So we can use both behavioral and physiological changes to balance our bodies. Now, all of these things that go on in your body have 3 parts. There is a receptor. The receptor has to receive the information from the outside that something's going on to upset your balance. There's a processing center. That's the part that deals with the fact that your balance is going not the way it should be. And the effector is what makes the change. You know, in English, when you talk about cause and effect, this is the effect. So let me give you an example.